Coming up on Be Kind, Let's Rewind.
Today we're going over 90s fast foods and all of the cholesterol-drenched things we loved back then.
I bet that tastes good.
And so,
Be Kind, Let's Rewind mascot Fats Geronimo was the
which
pizza
is
gorilla.
Perfect that his name is Fats, you know?
Dude.
Now you can get
Dude,
McDonald's
those right
Happy Meal
there.
pails for
Halloween!
There's a pumpkin pail, a witch, and a ghost. That
Oh, and
glows
it
in the
glows
dark.
in the
You
dark.
can get a different one.
Let's move on from McDonald's.
You can't do that now because everybody's got goddamn allergies.
Why are you mad at people?
Well, look, it sounds to me like Shadwick has some beef.
Hey, where's the beef?
You get done eating that, you just look like you left a P. Diddy party.
You're just like,
Oh, God. Jesus.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Cue music. I bet that tastes good.
Welcome to Be Kind, Let's Rewind, the nostalgia podcast no one asked for, with your hosts, Chris, Leaf, and Shadwick.
Cousin, it's going to be me.
it's going to be me.
Out of respect.
Yeah.
And
What's
my-
up, everybody? Welcome back to Be Kind, Let's Rewind,
Beyond?
the nostalgia podcast that no one asked for. Today we're going over 90s fast foods and all of the cholesterol-drenched things we loved back then. Guys, it's good to see you back. Be sure
I don't believe in
to
it.
be sure to like, subscribe if you're hitting us up on audio, man. Rock that 5-star for us and spread the word for the love of God. So usually we start off with like, where did you first hear about this? But it's like, guys, when did you first taste fast food? And the answer is when we were born.
I'm pretty sure our moms put it in our bottles, dude. Like,
Pretty sure when they were like, it's a boy and here's a Happy Meal. Like that's basically the order of those things, man. So this one's going to be a little bit different in that aspect. But speaking of bottles,
Do they still have like boy and girl Happy Meals at McDonald's?
I have no idea.
I think they replaced them with gender neutral toys now. You know, shitty ones.
Yeah, I bet the food tastes terrible too.
Speaking of bottles,
Get out of the street, you fucking bum!
before we get started, of course, guys, look, it's on the desk now every week. Be sure to visit our friends over at ZBiotics. You can go to zbiotics.com/bekind or hit the code up Be Kind in there. 10% off. Help yourself out while you help us out. And like we said in our Michael Uslan podcast and some others, definitely tell a difference when you take your ZBiotics before a night of debauchery with the boys from Be Kind, Let's Rewind.
Which is
So-
every
I
night
need
for
to
us.
I need to come by and get some of those samples from you because, especially with us recording through the middle of the week, and sometimes, you know, we run long and it gets a little saucy, and the next day it just blows.
The next day you got to go back to, I believe you referred to off air, the hellish thing we call life. Speaking of which, today I'm actually going to have to edit. Speaking of staying up late and feeling terrible the next day, edit after we get off air. So I'm going to my go-to. I'm going to have to hit these guys up for a sponsorship. Black Rifle Coffee mixed with the Gentleman Jack. Dude, I fucking dig it. I tried to start drinking this at work. Mixed with Gentleman Jack, and apparently that's frowned upon in a public setting.
I thought this was America.
I swear to God, you know.
My wife went on a girls trip a couple weeks ago, and while she was gone, she tried some Baileys in her coffee.
Oh,
And dangerous.
And brought back a big bottle of Baileys. So, I mean,
dude, I mean
what are you gonna-
Bailey's. I'm telling you, a little Gentleman Jack, little Bailey's, little Black Rifle Coffee, Freedom Road, America. Fuck yeah.
Irish.
America, fuck yeah.
Oh, okay. I was going to ask which flavor you got of the Black Rifle.
Yeah,
I go with whatever the pun is off of Sasquatch.
Yeah. That one's a good one too.
Yeah,
Can't go wrong with them, man. I really actually do dig their coffee. SpongeBob podcast.
I know. I got some. What was it, like squirrel nuts or something one time that wasn't very good. It's a bit nutty.
It's a bit nutty. Shadwick, what do you got over there, buddy?
But look, man. I know you guys get tired of me just spouting off bourbon all the time, but I'm in the pursuit of the perfect old fashioned.
Okay.
So I'm trying different amounts of ice, different amounts of booze. This
mix, all that.
I've got the Stirrings Simple Old Fashioned.
All right.
You guys can see that.
Yeah.
So
it's got juice in it. I see.
It's not poison. It's got juice in it.
And let me just make sure. Okay, yeah, there's no alcohol in this.
But the bourbon itself turns out.
Yeah. Yeah,
It's more than enough alcohol.
I'm still getting the Knob Creek out of that 55-gallon drum.
Yeah, dude, that's a tall order. So you got to keep us updated when you finally find the perfect mixer. It'll be on our booze of the week.
So this one's not bad. Anybody out there listening, if you're an ice connoisseur, if you can tell me a great brand to buy to make like whiskey balls,
okay.
I really I need to do that. I bought a couple, cheap versions of it with little silicone molds or whatever. They don't ever work. They fucking blow.
The only good thing about those, though, is they end up looking like a boob when the water comes out of the little hole in the top and you break the ice out. It's like an ice boob because I'm 6 years old.
Yeah.
It's a boob.
And your wife comes in, catches you sucking on the nipple. It's like,
and I'm like, milk, mommy.
I'm drinking,
mama.
New Amsterdam vodka and a little crayon, dude. Trying to help my kidneys out. You know what I mean? My liver.
Clear up any infections. You know, man.
Did you get your period?
He's got an infection. Okay.
Please.
Hey, man, before we get over into the topic, want to shout out one of my buddies' new podcast, Sleepy Dad's podcast. My buddy Brandon's over there. 3 dudes kind of like us, basically lifelong friends. They do a lot of current stuff. We have a lot of interaction with them on social. So they always do like drafts, and they're all Titans fans. So that's a lot of funny content right now. Maybe not so much for them, but for the rest of us, their self-loathing's pretty funny. So anyway, give them a shout. Check them out, Sleepy Dad's podcast. And man, let's go over into the fast foods of the 90s, dude.
Hey, one more thing before we get started. You guys had quite a weekend, right?
Oh, yeah, that's right. Well, this will be a couple weeks afterwards, man, but we actually went to Chattanooga Comic-Con. Got to interview some people. This was kind of our first foray into that kind of thing. We'll be doing a lot more going forward, but it was a lot of fun, man. And Shadwick, I do believe the reason you weren't there with us, can you please tell us what was the deal with that?
Yeah. So my wife bought tickets for us for my birthday to go see Jerry Seinfeld at the Fox Theater in Atlanta, and I was a little hesitant, honestly. I always loved the show. When I was younger, I did not care that much for his stand-up, but I think now that I'm older and more beaten down by this hellish thing we call life, I appreciate his condescending and cynical attitude. Mm-hmm. He talks about like I don't mind doing things that I don't like because that's all I do. like I don't like to do anything.
Was Kramer there?
Yeah. He was in the balcony and he was yelling something like I couldn't make it out.
You weren't close enough to.
I couldn't make it out from the pile of people that were on top of him.
And with that, let's head over to our 90s fast food, which I'll lead us in with.
I bet that tastes good.
And so let's get over into tasting good. Leaf.
Where were you eating that at a young age?
I don't want to talk about it. Scoutmaster Kevin strikes again.
This is the top 10 fast food places in the 90s. I think we got a little runner up in no particular order. So don't at me on social media or in the comment section, or if you want to. It's fine. That's fine with me. Number one, we'll start off Chuck E. Cheese's, but AKA Showbiz Pizza place.
And so actually, I was able to get some of these commercials ripped. So this was one of them that I got ripped, which actually you guys will recognize this intro from Be Kind, Let's Rewind, but it should be a little different because, you know, we obviously edited it. So here we go.
I bet that tastes good.
Wait.
You stop talking about pizza?
I don't know if this commercial's about pizza now.
Showbiz Pizza Place with over 60 electronic games. Pizza baked fresh every day. And a stage show extravaganza on 3 stages.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Jesus. Anyway.
Oh my God, dude.
So yeah, dude.
Can we just get the gorilla one more time at the end of that?
I bet that tastes good.
There he is. See, you think I edited it? This original commercial. We just took it off as is. You could see in that clip. We don't know what he says. Yeah,
it belongs with us. It doesn't matter. Who knows what he's talking about?
Man, let's talk about some memories from freaking Chuck E. Cheese, aka Showbiz Pizza.
Dude,
so there was only one in the area, right? In Hickson. I'll be honest. I think once it changed brands from Showbiz Pizza to Chuck E. Cheese, I don't think I ever went. I don't think I ever went to Chuck E. Cheese.
I did, but not a lot. Like Showbiz was the majority of this episode. We kind of lightly covered it when we very first started doing this podcast, but that episode was asked and it no longer exists, so you didn't see shit.
Or if you saw it, you saw shit.
Yeah, exactly. So Showbiz, was bought out by Chuck E. Cheese, and so there were 2, I assume, rival chains, and then.
Well, I can tell you. Obviously, Showbiz was an American family entertainment center and restaurant chain founded in 1980 by Robert L. Brock and a company called Creative Engineering, or CEI. And CEI had this idea that they would use animatronics and they'd have games and a restaurant to entertain families, not just kids. That's why in the commercial you see a lot of like adults kind of dancing around.
And a gorilla talking about God knows what.
Talking about God knows what. In the 80s, they loved that kind of stuff.
I'm no God, but I know what he's talking about.
So they
put it on a pedestal.
It's Pussalaya, right?
Pussalaya, that's what it is.
The reason I love this is because this is a 1980s thing. This is back when companies and like even the government, like for those who remember the Reagan administration, it was just like God, country, and like family, right?
Yeah.
They pushed like, and so that was the idea, is that you would come to this place with, it was a family outing.
Thank God things have not changed in 2024.
Not an ounce,
back in the 80s and 90s, they forced you to be with your family.
They did. It was great because your father could down airplane bottles at the table while you blew all of your.
Dude, they served beer there too. So I mean,
they sure did.
Of beer.
Did they really?
Yes, they did.
Yes, they served alcohol. It was like most places.
Yeah, you could get loaded. Apparently, none of my parents ever did, or if they did, they were real sneaky about it.
Yeah, my parents didn't drink. That's why I'm trying to make up for their loss.
My parents didn't drink a lot either, so I'm making up for lost time. So
so originally it emerged. Showbiz emerged after a separation, an argument between Brock and the owners of Chuck E. Cheese franchise. So I was under the assumption Chuck E. Cheese came later. In fact, Chuck E. Cheese was first or simultaneous with Showbiz Pizza, the Showbiz Pizza franchise. The restaurants obviously entertain guests through a selection of arcade games, coin-operated rides, and animatronic stage shows. Just absolutely horrific to look back at. In 1989, the restaurants basically, for all intents and purposes, reunified
From what I understand, when you're talking about a separation of the owners, I think that this idea was launching, and then the argument happened. Showbiz, Chuck E. Cheese, I think they started at the same time, and then Chuck E. Cheese ended up taking over. But to Shadwick's point, Showbiz was the one that had like Billy Bob and
Yeah.
had these. They all both had animatronics, but the Showbiz animatronics were just another level of creepy.
Yeah, and I think the reason I didn't go to Chuck E. Cheese, I think I just aged out. Like,
Yeah, it was pretty close. That like because what I remember the most about Showbiz and Chuck E. Cheese pizza, the smell of pizza throughout this joint when you walked in, that was amazing. And the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles fucking arcade game that I sunk endless amounts of tokens into that damn thing.
Endless.
Did they have a piss pit? I mean, a ball pit?
They did have a ball pit. So let's just sidebar on this. Okay, so any place that has this now, I'm sure that they have some kind of steam cleaning, whatever the hell. These things were never cleaned when we were kids. And there was like, sometimes they would smell like piss, obviously, because some kid pissed in there.
Mhm.
Sometimes you jump in there and you get stuck at the bottom of it, and then you just had to shit your pants. It's the only way you're going to get out. It's like if a grizzly bear goes to attack you, it's your defense mechanism.
I need an adult. I need an adult.
But like we would just do flips into these things. And they're hard plastic balls. I don't know why as a kid I thought like, yeah, man, this is basically foam
Soft.
padding. Yeah,
Fucking Scrooge McDuck, man.
yeah, he did, man. I was trying to go head first into me money bin.
It was more, you end up more like Peter Griffin.
It's not a liquid. It's a great many pieces of solid matter that form a hard floor-like surface.
Dude, I did it.
I have to know though, were any of y'all scared? Okay, so the show was called Rock-a-Fire Explosion. I have no explanation for who named it or why, but were any of y'all scared of the animatronic show
as a
children?
kid? As a kid, I was terrified. You know who wasn't fucking afraid? Leaf and his damn brother. And so, like, I was afraid when we were like little kids there. And Leaf and his brother would go up there after the curtain closes, and they're poking their heads under the curtain, like looking at everything, like shut down.
Try to see the dead ass eyes of the animatronics, just like and they're like, dude, it's so creepy, but I wanted to look, man. I wanted to see Uncle Clunk
or the pizza gorilla, whatever his name is.
I just wanted to see an uncle not in my bedroom. No, I do. Like, I remember like trying to check the little animatronic things. What was the main one? Was he a bear?
It was Billy. Okay, so let me give you a cast rundown real quick. I have to because this is so funny. Billy Bob Broccoli was the main character. He ended up being the main character. He was a bear and he had a banjo. Yeah, so it was Billy Bob. I remember my mom used to always be like, "Hey, you want to see Billy Bob?" She would never call it.
Yeah, that was what like my parents.
Your parents did too. Yeah, so a lot of people remember it just like Billy Bob's.
You want to see Billy Bob? Doop doop.
The Be Kind, Let's Rewind mascot Fats Geronimo was the
which
pizza
is
gorilla.
Perfect that his name is Fats. You know, because it
just
does taste good. He's right. He's right.
Racially, that is not good. That is not a good look for Showbiz Pizza. My first animatronic.
Did he have a rain stick? Is that what he played?
Dude, he
had a keyboard.
He had a keyboard and he had a golden tuxedo with like.
I've known a lot of people named Geronimo, and none of them played the keyboard.
Same, actually. Same. Yeah. My first animatronic anthropomorphic crush, Mitzi Mozzarella. Remember, she was a cheerleader, dude.
I remember
that did something for me, maybe. I remember a twinge of something there. I think I like
you could get close enough to look up the skirt, and
and I wanted. What animal was she?
She's like a mouse or something, I think. Right? Or
100%. She was a mouse, but her ears, she still had like bear ears, like on her head. Yeah. Like it was really, really, really weird.
Did she have pigtails? I'm trying to remember.
Yeah, I think she had like little pigtails.
She had blonde hair, pigtails, and she had
pom-poms.
She had slutty makeup with like rouge.
Yeah,
and,
maybe
like,
that's where like my thing for like pigtails started when I was younger.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Mitzi Mozzarella, dude. She's the one that did it.
And to your point, Leaf, when you were like trying to peek behind the curtain, like you remember trying to do like see if she would react like your cat does. Like,
dude, you wanted to see if they would look at you. Yeah, dude. Now that I think about it, that would have been way more terrifying if they had.
If it had
the
looked
eyes
down
just-
at you,
the
yeah,
eyes are just like
you'd have ran.
No, but
all
yeah,
pit
they
shit.
weren't though. They were just like,
they look dead
Oh,
inside.
yeah, dude,
There
you can
was-
actually find a lot of these too on eBay. You can find like a lot of these animatronic things. I keep
You're
looking
kidding me.
to get
Didn't-
a pizza gorilla just for the house. I think that Julie would love
Fats
Didn't-
Geronimo, dude. You just need to wear the mask.
actually, Julie told me that she wanted that.
that. Yeah, so next birthday when she's like tells me whatever outrageous thing she wants me to get her, she'll be getting Fats Geronimo
She wanted
me to
do it.
in the bedroom. She like just walks in the bedroom and he's like,
I bet that tastes good.
She's screaming.
It's just the whole time y'all were in there, he's just like,
I'm like, I think he's looking at us.
Oh,
Yeah,
man.
let's wrap up here on the Chuck E. Cheese Showbiz Pizza though. This is probably the one that I have the most memories about. Where it's just so much fun as a kid. Where you could just go around, play the arcade games if you wanted to. I remember it was like towards the end of us going there. You remember the Bozo show, Bozo the Clown? They had the little ping pong bucket game. I remember they had that there, and I could live out my fantasy of being on Bozo the Clown.
You remember the Seinfeld episode where George can't believe that no one remembers Bozo the Clown?
Oh yeah, dude.
Bozo the Clown.
No. B-O-Z-O. Sorry. You've never heard of Bozo the Clown? No.
And he's talking to a clown.
Yeah. So let's go ahead and head over to our next one, Leaf.
Number 2, of course, everybody knows this one. McDonald's.
It was late one night in the castle of the Chicken McNuggets.
What are you making?
Sauce. We're using my mummy's recipe.
Mummy.
This better be good.
It'll be great.
Poor memory unlocked.
Does your daddy have a recipe?
Daddy.
Now you can get
Dude,
McDonald's
those right
Happy Meal
there.
pails for
Halloween.
There's a pumpkin pail, a witch, and a ghost. That
Oh, and
glows
it
in the
glows
dark.
in the fucking dark.
You can get a different one each week until
Dude. So McDonald's, of course, probably stayed with us till our 20s and maybe even till today. There may be a small chance I stopped and got some chicken nuggets today on the way home. So I knew we were doing this.
I like the girls like, so what's your dad's recipe over there?
Yeah.
What a slut, dude.
Yeah, dude.
What a whore.
Yeah.
So, like,
like you guys have never been like someone tried to pick you up at a McDonald's while your niece or nephew's like playing in the whatever it is.
Dude, yeah.
Also, this kind of, you go to the McDonald's, we'll get some boring ass facts in a second, but this kind of was a lesser version of Showbiz and Chuck E. Cheese because they had the fucking cool playground, which I find a lot of these were places our parents could dump us in an enclosed area, much like some caged animal, and then they could like have a small break and be like, Jesus Christ, Chris, shut the fuck up. I'll be in the other room.
Smoking a cigarette because it's the 80s.
Yes.
Or late
With the
90s.
Oh yeah, they had ashtrays in
early 90s.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Oh man, it absolutely.
Yeah, I spent a lot more time at McDonald's than I did Chuck E. Cheese or
Oh,
Showbiz.
we did too. Chuck E. Cheese or Showbiz was kind of like that was like a
event,
birthday.
man.
That was but McDonald's was because they all had these. They had these cool ass like playgrounds, which since we started doing this podcast, I've been looking online at some dumb shit that I should never buy. They have some of the old like playground equipment stuff you can buy. They even have the one that was the jail.
It was a big Mayor McCheese,
dude,
hand, or like a. What is
so
it? A constable
to the bottom, or you could like if you're badass, you could climb through the middle and the top and go in the Mayor McCheese head. They've had those. Of course, they're outrageously expensive and look really shitty. I remember they had the little spring seats that went back and forth that were like little fry, whatever the fuck those things were.
Bro, when parkour came out, that pissed me the hell off. I was like, bro, I was parkouring in 1989 through Mayor McCheese's mouth, dude. And dangling upside down as my mother yelled at me at the top of her lungs to get the hell down.
That was, and her to save your life is get down.
Yeah. Or it's just snap. Hey.
Yeah. Hey. Yeah, that was it. That's all you
got. So I remember like playing Little League. The guy one of my teammates, his dad was actually the baseball coach at my high school later on, but I used to hang out with him a lot. So like after games, his dad would take us over to McDonald's, and I always would get the quarter pounder with cheese meal.
Mm-hmm.
And
the Royale with cheese?
Yeah.
Royale,
Royale with cheese. But I remember, like, even at that young age, I mean, 9, 10 years old, like, we got our food, and I remember the dude making a comment. I had already eaten that quarter pounder with cheese before we got out of the parking lot. Like, we went through the drive-through, and he's like, "Damn, Chadwick, you already ate that?" And I was like, "I might have a problem."
You're like, "Yes, sir."
You're like, lay off me. I'm starving.
I was, and I don't know. McDonald's was like a staple for me when I was becoming a fat kid. I remember.
Helped.
What year?
So good.
What year did the Challenger blow up? Like 88?
Yeah.
Something like that.
We would have been in kindergarten, so I think it was like 86.
No, we were third grade, right?
No, the second one took off and was successful when we were in third grade. That's the one we watched.
January 28th, 1986.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we were in kindergarten, so I remember not watching the Challenger. I remember watching the one that after that, the next one that was successful when we were in third grade.
I must have a false memory because
I thought the same thing till I watched a bunch of documentaries that told me that I'm in the wrong dimension.
Yeah, that's what it is. Because I remember sitting in my third grade class, and they wheeled the TV in there, and we're watching the fucking thing go up, and fucking boom.
Yeah,
I remember this.
And I was like, "Was it the Red Baron? Is that who did this?"
It was the. Was it the
Shut up, Gibbs?
Was it the Shazam? Was it the Shazam movie?
Yeah, it was Sinbad.
Yeah,
you mean Snoopy dressed as the Red Baron.
This movie?
Anyway, see.
Don't show that, bro. You're not supposed to show that, dude.
We got tricks.
Anyway, the point I was going to make was that the Challenger blowing up, the 20-piece McNugget was as impactful in my childhood as the shuttle blowing up.
Moving on from the Challenger McDonald's reference,
you could get a 6-piece, you could get a 9-piece. Neither one of those were enough.
No,
I mean my tits were coming in.
They were coming in.
I needed.
You were turning into a young woman.
So
yeah.
So by God, I am just devastated about this fucking space shuttle blowing up, and my dad's like, they got a 20-piece McNugget now. I was like,
and you're like, yeah, and let's try to class this up, and I don't want to be repetitive anymore, but it's just stuck in my head this week.
So long, dental plan. Dental plan.
Lisa needs braces.
Dental plan.
Lisa needs braces.
Dental plan.
Lisa needs braces.
It's gonna keep happening.
Plan.
Lisa needs braces.
This is what happens when I'm editing this episode. You guys have to suffer too. So.
Guess what's in Chris's head? There's no way that reference was in the old episode. Is that when we had it? The shit.
No, that one. No, I just on the Simpsons episode. It is.
God, it's so
the
good.
other thing too, McDonald's, other than the 20-piece nugget and Chadwick getting his voluptuous breasts, was the toys. Man, they had some badass toys back in the day. They were always like up on like what was popular. Like, remember the Muppet Babies had some shit going on. You had Batman, I think, at some point had a tie-in with McDonald's.
The best toy, and I will hear no other arguments to the contrary, were the Transformer, burger, shake, and there was like a couple others. I can't remember. Those were absolutely amazing.
And it was random, right? So like you didn't know which one you were going to get. Sometimes your mom or dad could like sweet talk him at the counter and be like, "Hey, do you guys have da-da-da-da-da?" And then they would sometimes, they would hook you up, but that was always an adventure. You go there and you're like, I'm getting not only am I getting a Happy Meal with delicious animal fat fried fries, which by the way was far superior when they changed that shit. But when you got those delicious fries and a burger, you got an awesome toy and a Coke, and you're playing on a playground with your friends, and it was almost perfect.
Pure sugar coursing through your veins.
I think they cook fries in like peanut oil now, right?
No, because of the allergy.
Because it's like I don't. I don't
It's like
believe in that
soy
either.
hydrogenated AIDS, I think, is what it is.
It's
Dude,
just
and it tastes inferior, dude.
synthetic fructose.
Yeah, it's just plastic swimming in our bloodstream. It's fine. None of this matters.
Anyway, I was going to say the food tastes better back then. The quarter pounder cheese, I don't know why they went to like the long onions on it now. Give me those chopped onions back.
Dude, yeah.
The slurred onions are pathetic. And you know what? Like on a side rat, this isn't on the list because it's technically not fast food, but Pizza Hut did the same fucking thing because of Papa John's. They tried to compete and make it because it looks prettier. I hated when they started chopping their vegetables cutting them long, because there's nothing better than taking a huge bite of pizza and it just all falling out because your teeth didn't quite cut through the long. The diced was far superior. Yes, it doesn't look as pretty, but who cares? It's functionality.
Hold on, let me correct you there. It wasn't just that it was diced. I think it was also canned.
It's soaking in the flavor, baby.
Yeah.
Like the canned juice was added flavor, dude.
Yeah, why? Yeah, don't go away from the canned stuff.
It was canned in animal fat.
You said it twice. Is that a thing?
Is that a thing? Yeah, dude. That the toys though. Back to the toys. Like, I think my favorite actually was there was a Looney Tunes one tie-in. I really loved the Muppet Babies one though, because they were super realistic to the cartoon. And
yeah, dude.
But I mean, they had everything. I mean, they had a tie-in with Dick Tracy at one point. They had like every time.
I remember something like one of those, the cars that you could like pull back and it clicks and then you let go.
Yeah,
there was something like that
off the table,
like Hot Wheels and shit.
There was something like that, but some kind of, I don't know if it was a dinosaur, but it had wings. So like when it would take off, the wings would flap.
Oh yeah, that's cool, man.
They were incredible, dude. The McDonald's toys were insanely good. You saw the buckets that glow in the dark. I'm interested to know in the comment section favorite Transformers toy favorite. Like, did you own any of those buckets? Right. I owned the pumpkin one. Like flat.
Dude, I had all three at one point because we would go. You?
Damn.
Yeah.
You got all three?
So we had all three. It took us a couple of years to get them because they used those for like probably 10 years in a row.
Yeah, they ordered probably.
I always wanted the pumpkin one, and then eventually the witch one got in the mix, and then the boo one, and then
what was there was some type of a dinosaur show. It was a cartoon. It was like they were soldiers.
Oh, were they like robots and shit?
Maybe
or not like where they had a little thing over their eye.
Yeah,
I know what you're talking about, but I don't remember.
Those are some good toys too. I can't remember what the show was now.
The deals they had back then, man, to sell.
Oh, dude, you could feed your whole family for peanuts, man, which was nice. Let's move on from McDonald's.
You can't do that now because everybody's got goddamn fucking allergies.
Why are you mad at people?
Well, look, it sounds to me like Shadwick has some beef.
Yeah.
It certainly is a big bun. It's a very big bun. Big fluffy bun. It's a very big fluffy bun.
Where's the beef?
Some hamburger places give you a lot less beef on a lot of bun.
Where's the beef?
At Wendy's, we serve a hamburger we modestly call a single. And Wendy's single has more beef than the Whopper or Big Mac. At Wendy's, you get more beef and less bun.
Hey, where's the beef? I don't think there's anybody back there.
You want something better. You're Wendy's kind of people.
Dude,
the only thing better would be if she was looking over her shoulder, like, "Where's the beef?
Where's the beef?"
Dude, quoted by my wife every single date night.
So this one, womp, womp. So this one, Wendy's actually back then. I remember them more for the little salad bar. They had like chili, a salad bar situation. We didn't go to Wendy's a ton, and then they had awful ass fries. That I refuse to fucking come back
terrible.
on. They were just bad.
Well, they weren't. The fries are pretty good now. I don't know about back then, but
animal fat couldn't save them back then.
Look, I'm all about cooking stuff in animal fat.
Yeah, same here.
Every time I cook hamburger meat, I keep the grease and I cook eggs in it.
As do I. Rachel bought me. My wife bought me a grease catcher, and when I cook bacon, I literally pour off the. I pour off the grease into the catcher, and we just keep it in the fridge. And I use it like instead of butter all the time.
Yeah,
and it makes a massive difference in flavor, but also like it's just healthier than like margarine or seed oils and all that other nonsense.
Like artificial.
I mean, that's our opinion. Like, we're not doctors.
Allegedly.
I play one on this podcast, but I don't actually know anything. But Wendy's though,
I play one for 15 to 17 minutes every night.
We're not talking about cosplay.
He's like, yeah, give me another 4-inch injection of sodium pentothal.
Here it comes.
Yeah,
bite that on the strap.
You might feel a small pinch.
Very, very small. We're just gonna go with the 3 inches tonight.
Wendy's is obviously an American international food restaurant chain founded by Dave Thomas, dude, who was in a lot of the commercials, like going out through all of our childhood and even our younger adulthood.
I always wondered if that was actually him.
It was, believe it or not, it actually was him, and
was that actually Wendy like years later in the commercials?
Oh, I have no idea about that.
I don't know that.
Or was that just Susan Sarandon's daughter?
Yes, it was Susan Sarandon's daughter.
You can look that up. My remembrance of Wendy's, I remember that it was one of the only restaurants that had carpet on the ground, and I think they tried to market themselves as a fancier, and that was obviously a huge mistake because that got destroyed instantly.
And they had chili at the salad bar, so just guess what happens with kids and chili at a salad bar and carpet.
Exactly.
You're like Kevin in The Office.
Oh, dude, I would go up there and put those little crackers in it, and I'm trying to scoop it up with menus. It's just everywhere.
The best part of that scene is when he's explaining how he makes the chili. Yeah. And the background scene is chaos. It's genius.
So we didn't have a Wendy's like in the little town that I grew up in. We had to go to the next town over until I was, I don't know, maybe a sophomore in high school. Then we got one, and that was like the hangout for a while. Like, while I was in high school. Their dollar menu, if anybody has one of those anymore, that's probably a $2.99 menu now. But
it
was pretty good. Like I remember you could get, like a I think they called it a double stack. Or you get a chicken sandwich, fries, everything was like 99 cents. And it was pretty decent.
I kind of remember going there in high school and I wonder if the reason we went there in high school is it felt more grown up than McDonald's because you went there so much as a kid that was like the reason that you'd go over there now. Is like, you're like, this is kind of me as an adult.
I think as parents, they forced their children to behave more. And again, the carpet was part of that. I know I keep harping on it, but it actually didn't matter because carpet on the floor denoted the place was nicer than. And so when we went to Wendy's, I could tell you from personal experience, my parents were like, behave. We're not at McDonald's.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Like, don't yell. You're not screaming.
A classy joint. We're at Thomas's Wendy's.
Isn't it?
This is a fancy night.
Isn't it funny that that's completely gone now? If something has carpet in it now, it's just it's like why is the carpet hard?
Yeah,
people are more.
And this was that.
Now.
This was that. We always call it the Shadow can correct me. The theater carpet, where it was the squares that are laid down in squares. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the kind of carpet it was.
Modular tiles.
There it is. Yeah. And so it was that stuff. And that stuff's pretty durable, though, I guess. But your parents made you. If you were a kid, you went to Wendy's, you were fucking grabbed by the nape going in there for some reason.
Yeah, and dude, so
sit your
also
ass down.
we can't not mention the fact that the dining room was massive. Do you guys remember the sunroom?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah,
dude. This is one of the first fast food places, the only that I can remember that was like a Shoney's or a Ryan Steakhouse where you had a big sunroom,
and it was always windows stale and stupid hot in that area. And I don't know whose idea that was. It sucked.
And old people loved it because they lived in a terrarium. They loved to warm their old bones.
Cold all the time.
They were like,
Yeah.
I can't believe those kids are so well behaved.
Chris, get your fucking ass over here.
Yeah.
Go get me some more chili.
And that's literally us in 5 years or
I
less.
can't wait. Let's
Coming
do it.
soon. Coming soon. So the burgers were square rather than round. And the reason I found out through my research, the reason is because it looks that there's more meat. Because when you have a round bun, but the patty is square, it looks like it's kind of the meat's like coming out of even though it was traditionally the same amount of meat.
Right.
They had to stay competitive, obviously. So
thus their campaign of "Where's the beef?"
Where's the beef? It looked like it was more.
That one lady that I'm sure got like one fucking paycheck for like $10. It blew up, and then she may have got to go on like Johnny Carson or something. They probably paid her $3, and she died alone in a nursing home.
Yeah. She put all that money in a birthday card to her son that never opened it.
Never opened it. Threw it in a pile. Getting old is awesome, guys. So let's move on from Wendy's.
We're losing viewers in droves right now.
This will bring them back. Long Dong Silvers.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, baby. This was a personal one to me. Long John Silver's.
Oh, my bad.
Is an American chain of fast food restaurants that specialized, of course, in seafood, a direct competitor to Captain D's, which is not on this list because this one was more unique at the time, right?
I'm gonna I'm just gonna start a fight here. I like Captain D's better. Just starting a fight.
You're not gonna start a fight. No, you know why? Everyone agrees with you except for me. Everyone.
No.
And it's only because I'll tell you why, is because Captain D's, to me and my family, like that was, we got done with a doctor's appointment. The doctor's office was near Captain D's. Like, I was a good boy after they shot me up with God knows what because they wanted me to be a stud horse one day. And then they just take me to Captain D's and they give me a fried piece of fucking Alaskan cod.
How many thoroughbreds have you sired?
Yeah.
Dude, like I always preferred Long John Silver's. I can tell you right now, this is really weird, but 100% as I've grown older, I realize Captain D's is probably legitimate, normal, good quality fish. It had I remember it grossed me out as a kid. It had veins. It was so veiny.
It's so veiny. Oh yeah,
in the fish. And I remember Long John Silver's wasn't like that. Like their fish was completely white. I don't understand why.
Well, it was because where Captain D's had like a big thick cut, Long John Silver's had they did a dropper to drop the actual amount of fish in the batter you got. So you had like half an ounce of fish to 4 pounds of batter at Long John's.
And that's why it tastes so much better.
Dude, yeah.
So I'm actually with you, Leaf.
You're kidding me, Shadow.
No,
You're a Long John Silver's Chad like me.
I'm going to tell you why. Because I like getting 2 pieces of fish and 2 pieces of chicken. And I want the chicken in the same fucking batter as the fish.
Yeah.
And fuck you. Was it Captain D's?
Yeah, Captain D's.
Yeah, Captain D's. Their chicken tastes like shit.
I agree.
It tastes like dirt.
It was,
but also
awful.
I'm not going to a fish place to eat chicken. So Captain D, sponsor our podcast.
Well, here's the thing. So
you got to keep your stomach in check, though.
You did.
So I got the scrimps.
So for those of you who don't remember, Long John Silver's, and I think Captain D's to a lesser degree, but Long John Silver's had a chicken and fish combo. Like you could get a piece of chicken and 2 fried pieces of fish, like in the same combo. And it was all fried, like Shadwick said. It not only in the same batter, but it was fried. So like
same oil, dude.
It's the same oil. So you could get a piece of chicken fried in that like fish and chip batter that doesn't exist.
No,
dude. Anywhere, to my knowledge, like I don't know anywhere you can go and get that.
You get that fish cross contamination. I'll give you that. Their chicken was the fucking bomb when it was battered and cooked. Some people don't like that, but if I'm eating fish and chicken, dude, mix it up in a pot. Let's go.
Dude, it was absolutely insanely good. Another thing about so first of all, the restaurant was founded in 1969 by Jim Patterson in Lexington, Kentucky. Believe it or not, you would think that a fish place would come from a non-landlocked state, but evidently Kentucky had something to say about that. They're like, you know what, bitch, we're gonna fry every damn thing.
Yep.
So funny story. I used to work for. It was a married couple. They owned a photo studio. The woman's family was from Florida. Like they came up here to visit, and they were telling her like, we went to this place and we had the best fish we've ever had.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh, really? What is it? Long John Silver's.
Dude, it was so freaking good, dude. I mean, I know y'all remember. So obviously the restaurant was derived from the character on Treasure Island. That's obviously
I thought it was derived from the porn star Long Dong Silver.
Not why. Even we all call it.
That's what my dad taught me.
Yeah, I thought all the fish was a representative of his unit.
I thought the fish was representative of his victims. all the booty he plundered.
He did plunder some booty.
Long John Silver's lore is getting deep on Be Kind. Let's rewind. All right, the last thing that I know y'all remember about Long John Silver,
the crunchies. Dude, what do you call them? Crunchies, Crispies?
I call them crunchies.
Yeah.
Crunchies. Yeah. So the bits of batter that were fried in the oil that broke off during the frying, they just throw that shit right on top of the fish.
Captain D's did it too, and they're awesome. Yeah,
and it was just amazing.
Super good for you too. It's just the oil and flour just absorbing.
But I was into your heart lining. Dude, so
that's a baker's dozen, Bob. So
the whole place looked like a pirate ship.
Yeah, no, that was fucking awesome.
It had fish nets, like actual fishing nets all over the place.
Yeah.
There was a bell in there. I think Captain.
You could ring the bell. I forgot about the bell.
So that's for those who remember when you left. If you were happy, there was a sign that said "Ring the bell" if you enjoyed.
And you would think that that would piss off like employees and stuff, but like their suicide rate was only like 40 or 50%, so it wasn't that bad.
Way better than McDonald's.
Way better than industry standard. You know, with that, can you imagine every day you're there and you're like cleaning the dishes, you just fucking hate your life. You hear ding, ding, ding with people just obnoxiously laughing at it. You're like, "I did it, Mom! I did it." You're like, "God, fucking damn it!"
I know, dude. Like anytime I go to like Lowe's, I was at Lowe's the other day and they had a bunch of like Halloween and Christmas like decorations, and they've got all those like wired animated bullshit things,
animatronic things.
It's got the big like try me button.
Yeah,
bro.
God, I bet those people just fucking hate
the werewolf every day is like, oh
yeah.
And you see her.
Literally, they're so sad. They're so sad. They're just like, "Fuck my life.
Fuck my life. I'd rather have a beer."
The only thing worse than this would be making iPhones.
Yeah. But so I don't really have a lot to say about Long John Silver. I think we kind of covered most of it.
That was more than you can get out of any Long John Silver's podcast.
So we'll move on to one of. I don't have commercials for all of these, but I do have a commercial for this. And this next one is going to be Burger King. And Leaf, I'm sorry.
Sure, you got places to go, people to see, but why not pop over?
Oh, the Kids Club, Leaf.
No.
Which one were you?
Leaf, it's a redhead.
Not the Kids Club.
Leaf, what are you in the Kids Club?
I'm not in the Kids Club. Screw you guys. Where is he then?
Dirt.
So if you can find the time, why not pop in?
There you are, Leaf. Look, he's in the Kids Club in his wheelchair.
Burger King started the woke revolution, ladies and gentlemen. Screw you, Burger King.
Why was that guy shaving in the middle of Burger King?
You know, this was back during the whole Nickelodeon foot thing, so I mean, shit just was kind of off the rails with kids in Hollywood. You know,
it was
like
really weird.
Leaf, I noticed that the first cartoon girl there had red hair. You okay?
Ooh, that did something for me. I'm not gonna lie to you, dude. Like Pippi Longstocking, Punky.
I think it moved.
Dude, bring them on.
I think it moved.
Back in the day, man. You're kids. You still thing for like Punky Brewster. I do remember that.
Dude, I always had a problem, man. Like I've
I like how you refer
dude.
to it as a problem. Like you're attracted to redheads, and you're like, this is a real issue.
My thing, redheads. Like I probably said this before, but there's no middle ground. They're either super hot or super not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, if you're listening to this podcast, you probably are one of those.
Yeah.
Burger King they also were kind of to me, the second rate McDonald's as far as like even toys and setup and everything. I preferred McDonald's fries over these guys for sure. But the flame broiled Whopper, pretty tasty. I did enjoy the burgers there. Just a little different with the flame thing going on, I guess.
You can. A lot of people hate on Burger King now, but what I will say is I 100% agree with you. Burger King as a restaurant chain was always like, and me too. We're not McDonald's, but we're here as well.
They're like, hey, if the line's too long at McDonald's, we don't have a line.
No, your parents are pissed, dude. Drive up, bro.
They were the first pound me too people.
Yeah, they're like
a lot of Jews out there still get a laugh off of "Hello, mother, hello, father."
The company. The company. Go ahead, Chadwick.
I was just gonna say my Burger King deal. It was like Wendy's. It was in the next town over. But it was right in front of like a big city park, like a big playground. Yeah. So 9 times out of 10, if we got Burger King, we were on our way over to that park where I would, burn the hide off my legs sliding down a metal slide or jump out of a swing when it's 12 feet high in the air.
Oh, dude, yeah.
Speaking of the searing burgers, like Shadwick's flesh off of the hot slide, the company was founded in 1953 as Instaburger King in Jacksonville, Florida. And the reason for that is because their production model was based on one of the machines they had acquired to make the burgers in an oven called an Instabroiler. So you could say whatever you want about Burger King. It's inferior. It didn't taste as good. What have you? The burgers did taste different. They absolutely
and
were
they
different.
also had a kids club, and so for Leaf that mattered because he's in a wheelchair, and they had the one guy. And what was his name, Leaf? Do you remember what his name was?
His name was Wheels. With a Z. Because he's from the streets.
I was going to say that, but I thought, that's too on the nose.
So everything they did for like inclusion, that like by including a guy in a wheelchair, they undid with a name. They were like made him an instant parody. His name is Wheels. Like cool.
What do they call him? Flash.
Yeah, let's draw more attention to the fact that he's in a wheelchair. Well, we'll call him Wheels. That works.
I know. So much for people in wheelchairs wanting to be included in a normal conversation. It's like, well, that guy in the wheelchair is really cool. What's his name? Wheels.
Yeah, it's me. Wheels.
If he was from your tribe, he would be runs with wheels.
It would be runs with wheels, man. So I don't really remember. We went here. I mean, we obviously we're trash, so we frequented all the fast food places.
I always thought maybe the flame broiled thing was actually just like liquid smoke.
See, I always thought it was a gimmick too, but it did taste different, and I did like a change.
I could tell you. So the flame broiled broiler came after the Instabroiler, so they upgraded their technology, right?
Okay.
I'm not going to say there wasn't any flame broiled flavoring, but it actually did impart a different flavor. Their technology was different.
Because like the whole trick was like, it's got grill marks, right? Like it's like that was the whole like it's cooked on a grill was like their whole angle.
Trying to make it
that was
seem
what they messed up on was like no one can get a workout in 6 minutes. 7-minute abs was where it was at. Not even a mouse on a wheel,
Every time you say Instabroiler, I think of that movie Dreamcatcher, like Insta-gay.
Hell, it's the gay.
It's the gay. Dude, it's the gay, man.
Shout
Shout out Brian Ballard. Yeah, shout out Brian Ballard.
Shout out, dude. They were so proud of that technology, though. That's why it was called like Insta Burger King, because they were like, "Hey, we have a brand new technology," and the public was like, "Just serve me my damn food, dude.
Yeah,
I want a burger."
Again, I think their whole angle was just it's like cooking on a grill. Because back then, I mean, grilling out's a big thing at home. Like when you have people over and you're cooking burgers on the grill and all that, that's still to this day, it's a big thing.
You know what's funny? That I was talking about that park that's like right behind Burger King.
Yeah,
they had like the charcoal grills, like the ones that are like
where you can just
like mount. Yeah, they're mounted like,
and they're super clean.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I didn't even clean
because everybody cleans up when they're finished.
When they're done with the public ass grill.
Yeah, like a tanning bed.
I can still smell the last guy.
I wasn't a guy.
It was on the grill. I mean,
to Chris's point, Burger King was the place that you would go when you've already eaten at a bunch of other fast food places and you didn't have anything left. It's like, hey, let's go to Burger King. Like there was really nothing unique besides the flame broiled burger, and it was good. It just wasn't.
Right across the street from Burger King in the town I'm talking about was Central Park.
Ooh.
Oh no, it's not even on the list, dude.
We'll honorable mention them.
Yeah, because that was the other one.
Best fries, in my opinion.
Oh God, yes. And the burgers are great too.
Yeah, honestly. Dude. And what was great about Central Park was it came with free diarrhea for me. So that was.
I remember when I first started like seriously working out, I read all those like Iron Man magazines and all that shit. And Ronnie Coleman was Mr. Olympia at the time.
Yeah.
And I read about how he would go to Jack in the Box every day and get these like grilled chicken sandwiches. And I was like, that's got to be the same as Central Park. I ought to see a shit ton of those.
Turns out.
Turns out if you're like on tires, he's clearly on gear. Gear? You been Googling strong guys again?
Yeah. Dude. So like we said, we'll give Central Park a nice little honorary mention in that delicious fries and everything. But we'll move on from Burger King. Leaf, this next one really wasn't for us so much as when we were kids, but this was like when we were growing up and we could drive our own, and this was Subway.
Yep. This was this is mid to late 90s.
Before Subway is what it is now. Because the thing I remember the most about Subway and advertisement is I guess they thought it would be great to have people that actually worked at the Subway do their commercials early on. And so like they would air these commercials.
That would be so much better than hiring a guy that would put kids into his giant fucking pants.
Still looking good. His name is Jared.
And put him over his shoulder like Santa Claus bag and haul him back to his
like Krampus.
Dude, like Krampus. South Park had a whole episode on it. Jared Krampus from Subway. So
did they really?
No, dude. So Subway. I remember they had like this girl trying to, and you could hear, when someone's super nervous, you hear their voice shaking, and she's shaking doing this
from inside the bag.
And she was terrified, and she was like, I remember she fucked up fresh baked bread, and she called it fresh baked bread, and that. But they left it in, and I only assumed like that. Yeah, so I was like, did they only have like one? Like they had, dude, we got 1 minute of film. Good fucking luck. That's the best they got that day.
The videographer's like, I got a goddamn veterinary exam tomorrow.
You had to get out of there, man.
It was like Phil Hartman from Saturday Night Live when he was like, cut it, print it, ship it. I'm buying that one. We was pretending to be Frank Sinatra.
Dude, yeah, dude. That was, I just remember that about the commercials, man. But give us a little background here on Subway.
So Subway obviously is a multinational fast food restaurant franchise that specializes in sub sandwiches, right?
Mm-hmm.
And wraps. It was founded by Fred DeLuca, financed by Peter Buck in 1965. It goes all the way back.
Wow.
My name's Peter Buck, and I'm here to party.
It started as Pete's super submarines in Bridgeport, Connecticut, and eventually morphed into the moniker we all know today as Subway. And their claim to fame was, of course, the sandwich artists.
Yeah, dude, I remember that.
Who would make your sandwich to order as you stood in front of them.
Which is anybody now with blue hair and fucking gauged earlobes.
I'm a sandwich artist.
It wasn't too much different back then. I mean, I'm pretty sure
Kid
you
from
had
Wedding
to be
Crashers.
That make you love me?
I'm pretty sure one of the prerequisites for that job was that you had to be on the spectrum.
Yeah.
They actually ended up, I mean, Chris and I went a bunch of times. One of my favorite memories of Subway was we would eat it after we worked out, dude.
So we would work out at our shitty workouts that we had no idea what we're doing. So we do like 3 sets of 3 exercises and then go eat a fucking foot-long meatball sub packed with carbs and fat. It did nothing. It was undid everything we just did, even with our fucking like teenage metabolism. We were so stupid.
So stupid, Billy.
We are stupid, Billy. We did not know how to make love or fuck.
So, hey, shut up, man. I'll tell you what ruined Subway for me. Chris,
the child.
No, I was fine with that. It wasn't my kid.
I'll have to cut all of that.
No, were you still working at the truck company with me when Subway was there?
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
So like we had this big, common cafeteria area, and they would try out like different restaurants. So they had like a little Subway station there for a while, and I think they changed it to like honey baked ham. But we just ate so much Subway because it was convenient. Mm-hmm. To this day, I'm still burnt out on it. Like, I don't want it.
I'm kind of the same way. Plus, like that job sucks so much ass that most of the time you wouldn't even get a lunch. It would be like roll the dice. It's like take a lunch or you're going to stay 45 minutes late if you do. Yeah. So you would run down there. That 5-minute walk to get your Subway sandwich and back to your desk was like your break where you're like, oh, thank God. Fuck that place.
The only good thing about that was when you'd see someone on the 3rd floor, like getting on the elevator, and you could run down to the 2nd floor real fast and push the elevator button,
so and then get stuck on the 2nd floor,
and then just keep going down the stairs.
Yeah, so, dude, misery loves company, and so it would make other people miserable too.
I didn't have time to wait behind them in line. I had to get there first.
Dude, Shadwick had ways to get what he needed to get. So there's not really a whole bunch more about Subway to talk about other than Jared Fogle, which
Wait a minute. Was it good? Do you guys remember it being good? Like, because I mean,
I enjoyed
the Jared stuff. No,
no, damn it,
no, man,
no, it was not good.
I like the fucking meatball sub. It's probably trash food. I know it's bad for me and whatever, but if I could get the meatball sub, if I could get rid of the indigestion part of that, and also the fact that it also came with free diarrhea, it was pretty tasty going down though. Shadwick, what do you think?
There was that one sandwich they had. What was it? It was like a chicken teriyaki something.
Yeah, the chicken. Yeah,
like that. Literally. That was pretty decent, but all of Subway, like even down to the fucking lettuce, seems like super processed to me.
Oh yeah, dude.
Like
they get fresh lettuce and then they just like process it through water and sodium, and so they're like it's all got to be processed.
Oh, it tastes like it had Raid on it or something.
Well, for me, I'm gonna agree with you guys. I used to switch up depending on what I got. I got Italian, I got the meatball, I get the chicken teriyaki. But let me tell you, the $5 foot long is the reason that, and there's actually like a whole like YouTube documentary about that, like how the franchisees who were affiliated with Subway were trying to get rid of it because they were losing their ass.
Yeah,
and this is before modern times, before even in 2000 and the financial crash in 2008. Dude, they hated it, and
Jared was like losing ass. That sounds.
And that's Subway.
Yeah. All right, man. Let's move on to another. This one was probably more in the teens, 20s. Leaf. What's the next one?
The next one is Little Caesars Pizza Place. I purposely skipped Pizza Hut because they actually were a sit-down restaurant. We're talking about fast food, right?
Yeah.
You get in, you get out super quick. So Little Caesars was the quintessential, in my opinion. You can argue with me in the comments section of the fast food pizzas, right? The hot and the
this
ready.
kind of goes back to like, what was it? And it's a $5 hot and ready, like what you're not gonna beat. You could just show up with a 5-spot, grab a pizza. And go.
Dude, this is
wild.
This is every like soccer mom's dream of throwing their kid a birthday party.
Yes.
I mean, you're picking up 5 pizzas for what? So $25.
Yeah.
How many times?
Let's not forget the actual scenario where this is also every single girl's dream, because then she can get every guy at work that has a crush on her to help her move all day, and then she'll buy one $5 pizza. And I believe, Shadwick, what did you say happens after that?
You gotta split one cheese pizza 8 ways and go home and jerk off with a sore back.
There
I was just about to ask, like, how many times did you guys show up to a pizza party, or your work was throwing a pizza party in finger air quotes, and it was, you just saw stacks of Little Caesars, and you were just like,
one of my favorite memes is it's Stone Cold and I think it's Undertaker, where they're doing the thing like, you know, they're going to lock up whatever.
Yeah, you're right.
And it's like Undertaker's the employee, and then like Stone Cold's like holding up the raise.
Yeah.
Right? And then he's like, pizza party.
Yeah.
And then gives him a stunner.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's what it was, man. They would be like, dude, great job this week. Here's a bunch of Little Caesars pizza we bought 4 hours ago for $30. It's all solidied and cold now, and it's basically cardboard. Good luck, everybody.
You should have took your break earlier when it was fresh.
What break?
Yeah, exactly, man. So Little Caesars, thanks for being there for all the reasons we just mentioned.
I got to say, when my son was, 6 or 7 years old, probably, we did a little birthday party at the house, and we picked up a bunch of Little Caesars.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if it was just me that day or if it was the food. I'm going to say it was the food, but I ate like a couple sauces of sausage pizza and went directly in the bathroom and shit out chunks of sausage pizza, like undigested, straight through my digestive
Well, that's because
tract.
you're not supposed to digest cardboard, Shadwick, and I believe that's what these pizzas were made out of.
No, dude, edit that out. We want to order the sponsorship.
Oh yeah,
yeah, like Little Caesars has money to throw us.
Yeah. They're like, here's $5.
What did they actually do? I looked it up I stream, obviously. Like, I looked it up, dude. They actually do like have sponsorships, and they like have like certain things that they give you when you reach certain levels.
Yeah, which is a $5 fucking pizza that's 2 days old, and I have no desire in that. Pizza Hut, Domino's, Papa John's, sponsor our podcast.
So we've basically determined the food shit, but the business model is great.
Oh, it's genius.
I always wanted to do this and put one like right next to some ball fields.
Oh yeah, where people, that's when they're leaving,
like a big
like
youth sports complex.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, dude.
Dude, I think also Jared from Subway had the same idea. He wanted to.
Yeah, there's not a lot of youth pole vaulting.
All right, man. Let's move on from Little Caesars, who will never touch this podcast, to I got a couple more commercials. This is one of them, man.
This is a good one. Yeah.
Number must be raised to equal a given
there
number.
Is.
What is an algorithm?
What is a logarithm? You're absolutely absolutely right.
What? What did he say? Did he just heckle me?
Yo quiero Taco Bell.
Ah, he said the thing, dude.
He did the thing.
Get all the tacos you can eat for just 69 cents each. Lots of
I
beef,
turn it off.
lettuce, and real cheddar.
Turn
and
it
tacos
off.
for just 69
No, I'm done.
Shut it off.
69 cents. Go fuck yourself.
God,
69 cents for a freaking taco.
I guarantee you that taco now is what, $1.49?
Oh, at least 69, probably $1.69.
That also, which we found out this weekend, the Taco Bell Chihuahua, voiced by old Carlos from Reno 911. That was
Chris
Officer
interviewed.
Garcia. Yeah, I
Yeah,
interviewed.
dude.
You can check it over on the
And-
Facebook.
And Mr. Weed.
Hey, you ought to throw it in.
What's up, everybody? We're here with Carlos, Alice Rocky, of course, from our childhood. Rocco, many voiceovers, but least personal favorite, Mr. Weed.
No, Peter, you're fired. I shall call you Eduardo.
What about this handsome paraplegic over here that we have?
He is very handsome. He looks like my friend Guillermo, who's on our softball team, my secret weapon, who hit a grand slam just like Freddie Freeman last night.
Oh, go Freddie. Go Freddie.
Freddie.
Brace fan. You know.
Yeah,
But,
I know. Well, you got Olsen.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Not quite Freddie. But so, Reno 911, one of my all-time favorite shows. How, Mr. Garcia, it's nice for you to join us.
You're welcome.
The charisma that you guys had on that show, and it felt completely almost ad-libbed.
It was ad lib. We didn't. As a matter of fact, we auditioned for something called Ugly Americans, a regular sketch show.
Okay.
Niecy, Wendy was not a part then.
Okay.
And then we ran out of money. We pitched it, and they said we're going to go home and do a show about cops because we're on the Cops Network.
Right.
So let's pitch it. Go home and think about characters. I thought I want a Barney Fife kind of self-loathing, over sense of justice kind of guy, and I came up with this guy named James Oswaldo Garcia, who happened to not be too secure with other kind of cultures, and got partnered with Cedric Yarborough.
Oh, God.
And, I had a little trouble with accepting people who were different than me, but that's what we came up with. And so we would pitch a scene, but just do our own dialogue with it.
That's awesome.
Just take these off.
Going back and watching that, though, like the comedy that's in that, just so freelance to just funny to be funny, man.
Yeah.
I miss it. And it's just great job, and thank you.
Thank you very much. Yeah, I love being goofy. Cop is a protective rainbow that stands over the entire city, county, country. Yeah, just making stuff up off your head.
Dude, I'd love to see the B-reels of that show.
Oh, the famous, there's 10 takes if you go box set when Wendy is inviting everybody to dinner because she wants to know who the dad is.
Yeah.
And is having who would be a suitable father.
Right.
I didn't tell her that I was going to do that thing. I'll have the vegetarian tacos, chicken quesadillas, and she will have something of less than or equal value. And she didn't know that was coming, and we had to do it like 10 times.
Oh, dude, that's awesome,
Yeah.
man. Well, I won't take up any more of your time. Dude, it was great meeting you.
Nice to meet you,
so
too.
much, man.
Hey, y'all, take care. Be safe.
That was a good fucking interview.
I'll sell it in. First one I've done with a celeb person like that.
Dude,
aside
that
from
was
wrestling.
that's the best thing we got that weekend. I'm not gonna lie, like, it was the best shit we got.
But so Taco Bell, man, this
Not the
one
best
was.
thing I got that weekend.
Yeah, it reminded me of Jarrett from Subway when.
Allegedly.
So Taco Bell, man, this one was a mall staple and a Highway 58 staple for me and Leaf. Like when he could drive, we're going to Subway, we're going to Taco Bell because Taco Bell had $3 you could get an ass load of food. They even made the joke it was This Is the End with Seth Rogen and James Franco back when they were actually like Seth Rogen was a good friend. And so like they they talked about like they had a $20 gift card from Taco Bell and he bet him that he couldn't eat $20 worth of Taco Bell and he was just like, and I couldn't. Today you could because it'd be like 6 tacos or 3 tacos or some shit. But
dude, it would be ridiculously.
But it was so cheap back then, man. You could get a value meal for $3.99 or whatever and a drink. And then the big one was in the mall they had a Taco Bell. So it was like we could hit up the arcade, the music stores, all that, and get some Taco Bell. And it was awesome. Also came with free diarrhea, which was great. My favorite part of Taco Bell.
Bro, I just want to say we haven't mentioned it yet, but we have to mention the fast food glasses. And Shadow's the one that brought me back to it, I believe Taco Bell is responsible for multiple Star Trek actual glasses.
So I don't remember
McDonald's.
I don't remember Taco Bell having glasses.
It was early Taco Bell, dude. I remember. I forgot about those.
They had they started with Looney Tunes. Believe it or not, they had to deal with Warner Brothers. Evidently, I don't know to what degree, bro. They had like all the Looney Tunes. They had Elmer Fudd, who's banned. They had Speeding Gonzales, who's banned. They had Porky Pig, who's banned.
Yeah,
they had all of them, man. It was amazing. Like, and they were printing on the glasses.
Have a blip, 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 blip.
But yeah, man. So, and we'll end talking about those glasses because that was a big part of the childhood too. But like the Taco Bell, I remember the remake when they had the bright colors. They went from they went to the purple and all that stuff. And
they went away from the old El Paso label.
Absolutely. And then they didn't really have. It was kind of after the glasses thing, I guess. They kind of rebranded to like hitting teenagers, so there weren't really toys or anything. I just wanted my damn Mexican pizza and a taco supreme. When they came out with supreme tacos, I was like, oh, these are even better. And all they put was like sour cream and
the same taco with sour cream.
Yeah, but it fucking makes a difference.
Dude, so good, man.
It makes a difference on every shirt that I was wearing when I was trying to drive and eat a taco.
Yeah, that was the ultimate. The ultimate was, can you drive and eat Taco Bell at the same time? And the answer always was no.
No.
If you have a white shirt, fucking forget about it. There's going to be a grease stain.
Yeah.
You're going to look like every trucker that ever worked for me in Chadwick at that trucking company. Just stains of grease all over your shirt.
You're not going to smell like them though.
I don't know. With enough Taco Bell, you might.
No, I'll tell you the thing about Taco Bell was those little cinnamon twists.
Oh, dude, yeah.
Like you remember it was like $2.99. You could get, it was like 2 or 3 tacos and a cinnamon twist and a drink.
Yeah, man.
Bro.
Too bad it was always Pepsi bullshit.
Yeah. I was upset about that too.
I took my lumps and my L's on that one. I was like, that's fine. Like, just give me that and a Choco Taco too. I got turned on to those for a bit.
Bro, I think for the
I remember that from the stripper you liked.
Cut it.
I bet that tastes good.
It might, but it smelled funky.
I think we can all agree, basically. Yeah, we can all agree that Taco Bell was where you went when you were broke. I'm pretty sure they were the employee at the window. He's used to hearing change jingling as people gathered what little money they had to buy their Taco Bell. That was me.
Same here. We did that many times.
Dude. Like, how many times did you go up to a window and like hold both hands out?
Yeah, exactly. Like,
you just drop like quarters and nickels.
I remember like freaking out the mall, man. Like walking in my basketball shorts and whatever Nike t-shirt I had on that was just full of quarters, nickels, and dimes, and that was going to get me arcade and Taco Bell. And sorry to the clerk for that, but it was what it was before debit cards, man.
Dude, like that was the 90s Taco Bell experience, and now that it's over, it's even more prevalent, right? Like you can't do that any longer, obviously, but yeah, like we would take change and feed ourselves for like $3 to $4. You could get a whole mess of food and have an entire meal.
You know what? You could do so much shit for free too. So like, you would go people watch at the mall. You'd go listen to music at the record store for free. You could get $1 in quarters and play forever in the arcade. Movies were like $3. Like you could go out and spend an entire day out for like, $7 or $10. Like,
I hate that I'm this person now, but I bet in the past, I don't go to fast food very much anymore because of.
I don't think most people do because of the same reasons.
Well, I mean, one, it's fucking not healthy at all anymore.
No.
But 2, it's so goddamn expensive. And I hate that I'm this guy now that goes through the drive-thru, and when they give me the total, I go, damn.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, it's so much cheaper to eat. cheaper to go sit down in a restaurant and eat than it is some fast
really
food now.
is.
Yeah.
I can't remember where we went. We stopped somewhere Saturday on our way to Atlanta. Just grabbed food for two at a fucking drive-through fast food place.
Yeah.
And it was $19.
Yeah.
Good Lord.
That's something we haven't even talked about is the prices in the 90s. I think
we dove pretty deep into that in our inflation episode. If you go back and listen to that in our
That's
archives.
what I was about to say.
Yeah.
Like we did talk about it in the inflation episode. It matters and it hits in our.
And there's one other thing I remember about Taco Bell, and I can't speak to all of them, but the local one here, it was early 2000s, I guess. I went inside. And it stunk really bad, like
it stinks,
like bad water, like they had some like
mildew,
like a drain backed up or something.
Yeah.
So I was like already fighting that smell, and then like I'm standing in line and I turn around.
Oh, is this the feet?
Yeah, dude. It was just someone else that was standing in line behind me waiting to order, and it was flip flop season. You know, God damn! I'll send you guys the picture so you can throw it in there.
We put it in a previous episode. I'd rather not do it again.
Well, you're going to because that episode doesn't exist anymore.
Oh, that's right. It doesn't.
And it's just like Salt Life stickers. People need to know.
So that's a good place to end.
Let's end on the Taco Bell bathroom.
The bathroom and foot scenario. Take us over, man. We got this next one is when you drive in for a change. Good old Sonic.
Good old Sonic Drive-In, baby. More commonly, Sonic Drive-In, more commonly known as Sonic. Of course, American fast food drive-in, owned by
fast food for when you got 45 minutes.
Yeah, no shit. Yeah,
right. Basically, I mean, Sonic, founded in 1953. Basically, originally was a walk-up root beer stand outside a log cabin, steakhouse, selling hamburgers, hot dogs, etc. But it's known, and they definitely don't do this nowadays, but they used to. You guys remember they had their car hops on roller skates.
Dude, yes.
Traditional 50s.
Occasionally you would have one that was cute when you were a teenager.
You would, dude.
And then you would go back theoretically all the time to try to work up the nerve to talk to her, and all you could do was give her $5 for your food and move on with your life. And that is Chris's teenage years, ladies and gentlemen.
And then fart in the car with your friend and just literally gas him out.
I can proudly say that I never fucked a Sonic bellhop, a car hop, or whatever they're called.
They're car hops.
Or a bellhop.
Or a bellhop. That's
taking Chadwick's luggage at Sonic.
He had standards.
He was trying to give him his luggage. They just weren't taking it.
So this is a throwback. Of course,
I'm sorry, sir. You're gonna have to weigh that. We're gonna have to check that. That can't be carry on.
Look, I know it's a little bulky, but I consider it carry on.
So this is a throwback from the 1950s. There were a lot of like mom and pop drive-ins, right? That the girls would come out in roller skates delivering your food.
They were like, this was before you sued everyone. So they were like, oh yeah, no, you can wear roller skates. That's safe as shit. And then the 80s happened, and then we went sue happy, and
they used to actually have, and I remember this vaguely. They usually have like annual competitions at Sonic's to determine like who was like.
Did you say anal competitions?
Annual competition, Chadwick, to see who was like the best roller skating car hop. Like obviously that's long gone now. I don't even know why this company still exists. That was their whole thing. Like if they go back to that, I predict that you would see an explosion.
Oh yeah, they're definitely the bottom tier. They're one of the bottom tier fast food joints now. And like I I enjoyed. Me and Ronnie used to always get the chili cheese Clooney, as we called it.
The chili cheese
The George Clooney. We call it the chili cheese coney. We'd always call it the George Clooney.
Which
but
is
like
a massive hot dog, dude.
And it was fairly cheap. The tater tots were always soggy as shit, but I didn't care. It was, it was good for what it was. But now it's like, if you go to Sonic, like your options are pretty fucking limited, and something's gone awry that day if you're going into Sonic.
Yeah.
I actually use Sonic a lot more for breakfast.
I use that too, but also one of the reasons why is like I think they had wraps and stuff back then, but also the line wasn't as long as like any other fast food place in the morning because
but somehow also it took twice as long.
Well, they had to put the roller skates on and deliver it to you.
Well, that is true.
Nowadays they actually have like a drive-through and like hardly, the car hop is basically mostly empty. That is one of the things me personally, I would only go for dessert. Like I would drink a cherry limeade and then my date staple. Like an ice cream or something.
Well, you get a cherry limeade, and hell, it's our anniversary. She'll have a Diet Coke.
End.
One thing you gotta steer clear of at Sonic is the chicken tenders or basically anything chicken. It's just
it's not terrible. Good, man.
But
their food is bad.
I would go for like the breakfast toasters. It was like a bacon, egg, and cheese sandwich, or the equivalent in a wrap.
Yeah.
And a large raspberry sweet tea.
Oh.
First thing in the morning, get that sugar going.
get you going for the day. So the last thing I do remember about Sonic is at some point in time they had some crazy shit like 25-cent corn dogs or 50-cent corn dogs or some nonsense.
It was for Halloween a lot of times too.
And so you could go there. It would be packed, but you could get. I remember we would go like $10 and you'd eat like kings with corn dogs, just batter soaked in fucking grease and God knows what. That
You're
made
the king,
up the
Wheeler.
actual hot dog. Yeah,
you're the king, Wheeler. You're the king,
dude.
I think they were like 50 cents, dude.
That was it. Yeah, dude. You'd get like 20 of them or some shit.
And they had something weekly too. I think it was like on Tuesdays they had like dollar burgers or something.
Well, and they had some shit that pissed me off because I was listening on the commercial and they were like, Sonic now has happy hour. And I was like, damn, Sonic's serving some booze. Okay, a cherry limeade, little vodka, like sign me up. And then I get there and it just turns out that their drinks are half off. And I'm like, that's not happy hour. There's no booze in that. There's no booze of the week.
There's no hand jobs.
Yeah, Jesus Christ.
And you get in your car and you drive off angry and inebriated.
All right, so we got a hot take on this one, and I'm ready for this. This next one, this will be our next to last one we talk about. Chick-fil-A.
Chick-fil-A, ladies and gentlemen.
Leaf, go ahead.
Chick-fil-A, obviously an American English goof on the word fillet or filet. An American fast food restaurant, and the largest chain specializing in, and I use this word loosely in air quotes for audio listeners, chicken sandwiches.
Chicken arise.
Chicken, arise, chicken.
That's God's chicken.
Bro, exactly. The Lord's chicken. I absolutely hate Chick-fil-A with a flaming passion. I
really?
Know it's a hot take. I cannot stand Chick-fil-A. They make the most mid chicken sandwich they've ever made, that anyone could ever make, and that's it. Literally, that is all they make is a chicken sandwich with a pickle. Basically, no seasoning, no nothing, and that is it. And I swear to God, Jeff, I'm calling you out at the theater. Okay. Backstory: at the theater, we would always decide who was going on a food run, right? Who was going to bring the food to the theater employees, right? Because we all couldn't go. There wasn't enough time. Somebody had to be the sacrificial lamb. We would always take turns. It was a very democratic system, like back then. Chris remembers. And swear to God, our friend Ronnie's brother Jeff would always be like, "How about Chick-fil-A?" And I'm like, "No." I would always He had to absolutely, like, in fairness to Jeff, he had to get sick of me because I was always such a bitch about it, like every single time. I think he's just suggested it to piss me off.
Yeah.
But like every single time I'd be like, please, I don't want a dry ass chicken sandwich for the fourth time this week. How can you eat it every day? I don't understand.
Man.
And they'd always say the same thing, like waffle fries. That was their only argument.
And I don't like waffle fries. I just don't.
I hate them.
I'm with you on that.
But I do like Chick-fil-A now, but I didn't back then. And this was the 90s that this was happening. I don't know if something changed. Did my taste buds change? I don't know. But I like Chick-fil-A now. I do. Yeah. But back then I was with you. I was like, I would rather go trade movie passes for CC's fucking pizza than it was for this thing back in the day. And I don't know why, but that's how it was.
Man. Oh, you just made me fucking sick.
Exactly,
all of the shit that we've said today, everything that we've talked about, CC's Pizza.
Yeah,
Feces Pizza. Ever see that movie Contact? Waited through the whole movie to find out the alien was his goddamn father. That was Chadwick just now.
No, dude, fucking Feces Pizza and what's the other one? Fazoli's. They can both suck a dick.
Yeah, I still have a soft spot for Fazoli's.
No,
they're not on the list.
Is it in your colon?
Yeah, dude. Like I said, they come with free diarrhea. I'm for it.
God damn
it. The Fazoli's breadsticks were better than Olive Garden's. I said it. Fight me in the chat. Fight me in the comment.
Okay, that's fair. I don't like Olive Garden either because it's look. Fazoli's is nothing but a Hungry Man dinner. Olive Garden is nothing but a Hungry Man dinner XL.
Well, when you're there, you're family. I heard.
Yeah, man, group of folks hanging out.
But anyway, so Chick-fil-A. That's our rant.
Father.
That's our rant on Chick-fil-A.
It's not bring it that bad, but
I like it now. Again, back then I didn't. Like I said, when I pick Feces Pizza over that shit, like there's something's gone awry. So I don't know what it was.
If I were going to pick a fast food chicken place, I would probably go Zaxby's over Chick-fil-A.
Same. Yeah. That's my point. That's my point. Let me
but the bank is tired of me coming by and asking for a loan to go to Zaxby's.
Go to Zaxby's. No shit,
dude.
Man.
Don't even. Yeah, dude.
Goddamn $24 for two salads.
That's $50,000. That's somebody's salary.
Jesus.
I'll extend an olive branch to the people who love Chick-fil-A. It's a good chicken sandwich. It's just ordinary. That's my problem with it. It's not like you can get another chicken sandwich at other places. And there was a chicken sandwich battle not too long ago. And, it's probably been, 4 or 5 years ago now or more, that there was a chicken sandwich battle between Popeyes and some of the other, like Bojangles chicken.
You know what?
places.
I take it back. I don't go to Zaxby's. I go to Popeyes if I'm
if
I want
chicken sandwich. Yeah, man.
Yeah. Like even KFC's argumentatively KFC's chicken sandwich has some game, and that's my point. It's not that Chick-fil-A's chicken sandwich is bad. It's just it's you can get another chicken sandwich other places, and that's all they do.
What was the KFC sandwich? It was like two pieces.
One.
Yeah, the
double pie pass, I think is what
double.
It's called.
Yeah.
It was called the KFC Double Down. It was two pieces of chicken.
We call it
with a piece of bacon between it or something.
Jeez, they're killing
it's 6 days worth of fat cholesterol.
Lather it up with some lard so it'll go down easier.
You get done eating that, you just look like you left a P. Diddy party.
You're just like,
oh God, Jesus! So
can't get it off my fingers.
All right, man. Let's take it home with our last freaking commercial here.
Let's get out of here.
Wow, new Smurf glasses.
What's a Smurf day?
On a Smurf day, everything goes right.
So
Dude,
I had
a shit ton of those.
And try Hardy's new Smurf Party Punch.
It's clumsy Smurf.
I bet Smurf could barely walk.
Oh, I always thought the girl was Handy Smurf.
She was.
So anyway, this was the thing I remember the most from this. Is the Go Smurf yourself, Papa Smurf. Jesus, Smurfing Christ. So I remember this one because we had like Garfield glasses.
I'm sorry, dude. My art teacher in high school that I loved, like she set me on the path. She would always use Smurf in place of fuck. she'd be like, awesome. Everybody get in your Smurfing seats.
Nice. I respect it. Dude, the main thing I remember from Hardee's is it was a breakfast joint mainly. But we would go there for this, the Smurf glasses, Garfield glasses. There's a couple different ones, and the California raisins. They had toys for a little bit when they revitalized the Temptations as raisins. And it exploded. But yeah, man, these were actual glasses, so you don't have floating plastic in your body for the rest of your life. And
I still somewhere probably at my parents' house. I still have a bunch of these. There were Flintstones. There were Smurfs.
Yeah, man.
And Garfield. And I know there were some Garfield glasses, but they were also Garfield like coffee. They were still glass, but they were like coffee cups.
I remember those. Yeah, man. You could see through them. But they had the Garfield.
Were those all from Hardee's or McDonald's?
I'm pretty sure that's all from Hardee's. I remember the glasses being from Hardee's.
I thought McDonald's had some Garfield stuff.
They did have some Garfield stuff, but I remember I could be wrong. Correct us in the comments. I'll probably look it up and post. But I do remember that glass. I remember we had that glass too. But our entire glassware at my house, because we're trash, was fast food glasses.
You bring up the nice glasses, dude.
All of our nice glasses, like they stay put up. Everything we drink out of is like stuff we got from like sports stadiums.
Yeah, I know. And I'm like, let me break out. Tonight's a special night, honey. Let me break out the Smurf glasses.
I do still have my big plastic Batman '89 cup from Taco Bell though.
That's awesome.
Like the original.
Cool. Yeah, that's actually really cool. So for our international listeners, West Coast listeners, Hardee's is also known as Carl's Jr. That's probably where you remember it. If you're out there, you don't know what we're talking about. In 1941, Carl Karcher, who was a truck driver.
Carl, hold on one second.
Dental plan. Lisa needs braces. Dental plan. Lisa needs braces. Dental plan.
And his wife Margaret Karcher borrowed $311 on their Plymouth automobile and added $15 of their own savings. Can you imagine having
Jesus Christ
automobile?
They had savings of $15.
Dude, that man said no more Yankee is wanky. The donger needs food, and that food is going to be at Hardee's. And that's what happened, man.
They bought a hot dog cart and basically later on upgraded to a full-time Carl's Drive-In Barbecue restaurant. And of course,
helped. He pushed the cart.
But he did, dude. Later in 1956, they opened the first Carl's Jr. restaurant, so named because it was a smaller version of the original drive-in barbecue in Anaheim. So there you have it. And I know
So when did it switch over to burgers?
Well, that's when it became Carl's Jr. It was a smaller restaurant, so they didn't have the equipment to smoke brisket and do all the stuff they originally did for barbecue. They'd make smaller fare like burgers and obviously fried.
I wonder if they were actually smoking brisket, or if it's like some of these bullshit places around here that it's like fresh smoked brisket tacos, and it's like fucking straight out of a can.
Yeah,
dude. Like potted meat.
Pork. Yeah, pork out of a can.
I'd be interested to find out if Carl's Jr. actually still has the barbecue place. Wouldn't you like to eat it at a Hardee's barbecue? That'd be crazy.
The original, but
I don't know if they exist.
So to your point though, I remember going to Hardee's like on Saturday mornings with my dad a lot.
Yeah. There always be old people sitting around shooting the shit.
Yeah, dude. It was always with Dad. It was a steak and egg biscuit, hash browns, and a Diet Coke.
Nice.
Yes.
And then he'd put like 3 pounds of salt on top of all of it.
Of course he would. You know what I mean?
That's what you did back then. But so they went from this squeaky clean image because they were getting destroyed. In the breakfast was always booming. And I remember some Hardee's even closing after breakfast for the day. It just wasn't cost beneficial for them to stay open.
They wouldn't do any business. Then
they launched our 90s campaign when the models were just eating Hardee's burgers or Carl's Jr. on the car.
And they're dripping that white stuff all down their face.
with the sauce, the baboon eyes.
Everybody's seen it. That's exactly right.
Were they crawling across the hood of a car or something?
Dude, it was just like hot models.
Was there a Kardashian in one of those commercials too?
It was an 80s throwback to a lot of the music videos we used to watch as
young and all that shit.
Oh yeah,
dude, it was a throwback to that, and I think a lot of people didn't understand that. I believe the marketing intention was to be like, it was ironic.
We know what the marketing intention was.
and guess what? The marketing intention got my attention.
Yep.
Yes.
And their burgers, actually, dude, their burgers are good.
They're actually fantastic.
They had one. I don't know if it still exists because I've not been in a long time, but they used to have a monster burger. It was like 2 half-pound patties, I think,
yes.
Dude,
with bacon, cheese. Dude, you throw a little blue cheese dressing on top of that. God damn, it's good.
It's so good that you have to eat it on the toilet. This also for me came with free diarrhea. But
I'm starting to see a theme here.
They were called
right?
Some help. It was there were monster thick burgers and there was a few different versions. And let me tell you, this is the first place, especially in the 90s, that I ever had a 0 carb burger. Like I didn't know anyone
with the lettuce wrap.
Yeah, dude. Like Hardee's would wrap up their thick burger in a lettuce wrap with everything, and it was an absolute freaking mess. Let me tell you, but it was so good, and
just good.
I'll tell you something else that they did that nobody else was doing, and again, I don't know if they still do or not. I have never been a big fan of like dill pickles. They would put the bread and butter pickles. They would put those on their burgers, and they were
change up your
good,
flavor
dude.
a little bit. Yeah, man. All right, guys. So let's end this one. Let's end with our favorite go-to order from the 90s. I'll go ahead and start. Mine's going to be at the luxurious Taco Bell. I'm getting the Mexican pizza and 2 Taco Supremes and a Mountain Dew because fuck my body. Leaf, your turn.
Damn it, dude. You stole mine, dude. And again, this is what I said earlier. It's that the food was so good and so cheap. My order was a Taco Bell enchilada and burrito supreme.
Woo!
Dude, I would be so full. I wouldn't even need to eat the rest of the day, but I did. And that's why I look like this. Shadwick, your turn, baby.
Dude, so I would go to McDonald's. I'd get the 20-piece McNugget with honey and hot mustard.
Genius.
Then, because they had the dollar menu, I would hit up the McChicken and a McDouble.
Good Lord.
And one of those might make it, a couple hours. I would definitely eat all the nuggets and one of the sandwiches. I might save the other sandwich, just depending on how the day's going.
You're a classy guy. You pace yourself.
Yeah,
Understood.
but I mean, I'm not going to go there and waste my time.
You're here to eat.
And it was a toss-up, either Sprite or Dr. Pepper.
Nice. Well, guys, this has been a fun journey down memory lane, talking about everything from Hardee's glasses to Jared Fogle. And that'll lead us over to our Norm Macdonald clip of the week.
Jeffrey Dahmer's relatives are reportedly fighting over what to do with his body. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Well, some want to have sex with it while the rest want to put it in the fridge. So that's
She said